onto KCAL 9. You can see Sky 9 live above it all, and of course traffic at this hour very light on the 605 northbound as this driver continues to try to elude the California Highway Patrol, but you know how that goes. It won't take long before he'll either have to pull over, run out of gas, or they will have to do what they need to do to bring this pursuit to an end. But right now it is on freeways, so that's the good thing. All right. All right, we are going to go to our phone now. We have, I believe, Chuck Griffith. Is that right, sir?
Sir.
Hello, Chuck?
Yeah, Juan, I'm here.
Hey there. Thanks for joining me here today, this morning. You are a retired officer with the Riverside PD, correct?
That's correct.
So that we let our viewers know who you are. Thanks so much for being with us. Are you watching this pursuit along with us as well?
I am. I just turned it on and watching exactly what you've got going at this moment.
Yeah. Well, we are looking at, Chuck, just so you know, apparently it's a stolen vehicle out of the Santa Ana area. Originally, Santa Ana police was handling the pursuit. Once it went on the freeway, they asked the CHP to take over, and that's where we are right now with this pursuit heading northbound on the 605 freeway. With traffic so light, Chuck, I mean, what do? You just keep following, or what?
Yeah, it looks like, with an alley like that, he could probably attain pretty high speeds, but he's not going much faster than the flow of traffic, so they're just going to keep following him until he either gives up, runs out of gas, or something happens to the car. There's no reason to push it as far as endangering anybody else's life by trying a pit maneuver at this speed or any intervention at this point.
Pit maneuver, really, they have to take in several factors, right? And if he is going at a brisk speed, this is something that he may or they may not be able to do.
Right. As far as the pit maneuver, they wouldn't be able to do it over a certain miles per hour. But like I said, he's not driving extraordinarily fast. He's not driving reckless. So this is just going to be basically CHP following, and when they change jurisdictions, new CHP units will come into play to continue the following.
So we now know it's an Audi. This is a high-performance vehicle, or at least one that we know can get some decent power. Is that something that the officers that are following take into consideration? I mean, this could go for a while, right?
Yeah, and if he's getting really good gas mileage, yeah, he could go for quite some time. There's going to be a point that they're going to think, well, is this really worth to continue? With all the resources, the helicopters, and everybody. They're gonna have to evaluate that. The pursuing officers are constantly evaluating their pursuit. Is it dangerous? Is it something we can get the guy later on? I noticed this car doesn't look like it has plates on it, and it's stolen. So they don't. If they know who the driver is, they can get him later. But if they don't, they're going to continue to follow and see if they can.
Yeah, and that's one of those things we've seen before, right? Where they back off and they just do either air pursuit, or they're just going to continue monitoring the situation from a distance, and then, like you said, if they do know who this driver is, they can just catch up with him later, right? Right. And the helicopter, using the helicopter to track is probably one of the best things they can do. The officers can stay back and drive safely, and they just guide officers to the area once the guy's off the freeway and looks like he's going to stop. Mm-hmm. And Chuck, I just was told by our producers here, apparently, we thought there was just one person in the car, but apparently earlier in the morning there were two people in the car, and this driver somehow pulled over and let one of those people out. So now it looks like we're back to that original thought of the one person being in this car. So obviously police have to track down two separate people. Is that right?
Yeah, hopefully they grabbed onto that person and interviewed them to see if they know who the driver is, and if they can get good information. That would be another aspect, stolen car, if that's all he's done. We can pick him up later.
Gotcha.
Issue a warrant and get him later.
All righty, Chuck, thank you so much for being with us. We're going to let you go here on KCAL 9 so you can help our folks over on the CBS 2 News side. And Sandra Mitchell and I are going to continue monitoring this pursuit right now in the Cerritos area, northbound 605.
You can see he is in the carpool lane trying to pick up some speed right here. CHP right behind him, though. We can see at least one officer closing in on him. Again, looks like he's got a pretty good clip going right there. But the amazing thing is that the freeway is wide open right now. And you can see everybody else pretty much staying out of his way. Not sure if lights or sirens are going on that SUV. Did you see that wobble there a little bit? It looks like he's struggling to maintain control. Not sure how fast he's going. Crossing over that double line right now and getting back into the flow of traffic.
If you're just joining us now, this is a pursuit started right around 10:30 this morning. Santa Ana police officers got reports of a stolen vehicle.
Again, if in case you're just watching us, you're watching a pursuit that's a high-speed pursuit that's in progress right now along the 605 freeway. We do not know how many people are in that car, whether they are armed, but we do know that they were wanted for failing to stop when they were supposed to stop. They took off.
Yeah, guys, not our first pursuit of the morning. It's been a busy one. The other one came and went, but this one going north on that 605. So still looking at our maps here, just a few miles away, we're going to hit the Century or Glen Anderson Freeway. And that is where we will encounter some slowing. I'm also looking on my CHP log system to see if we have any accidents up ahead. We are good to go there, but it usually is advantageous to the California Highway Patrol. If they hit traffic, they can get in turn closer to that car that they are pursuing.
Yeah, that's true, Stephanie, but also they then have other motorists in closer proximity, and they can't, that really limits also what they can do, because they can't put any other motorists in jeopardy. Now he moves over, way over to the far right of the 605. So, Steph, does it look like he wants to get off on the 105?
Not sure yet, but you were right bringing up the public, because safety is the #1 thing that CHP always tells us when they're talking about how they strategize with these pursuits. So they could change their strategy depending on when they hit traffic, and we are starting to see it right now, right on time for this.
Driver not sure what he's going to do or she's going to do at this point, taking the HOV lane.
And if you guys notice this, this is a portion of the 605 that's heavily traveled by big rigs, you can see. And a lot of times with these pursuits, we'll see these cars get around and try to hide around these big rigs.
Right.
Doesn't usually help, but that's what they do out of
They forget there's a helicopter.
Exactly. Now he's on the shoulder of the 605 right around the transition of the 105.
Trying to get off the freeway, I think.
Well, he's definitely driving on the shoulder.
Yeah. Trying to find a way off.
Yeah, jockeying in between these cars here, and you can see all the big rigs that I mentioned.
You know, sometimes when we follow these pursuits, we see someone who just kind of stays the course, doesn't make any evasive moves, primarily because they don't know what to do. They don't know, where they're going to go, where they're going to pull over. This person is actively trying to get away. They're not content to just keep the pedal to the metal and wait until the gas runs out. They want to get away.
Transitioning off now.
Looks like he's taking an off-ramp here.
Oh, he's going to run into, I bet you, oh, yeah.
All right, so do we think that he just passed? Could he be Firestone, Stephanie?
I don't want to tell you, right, okay, that's the sign for the 5 freeway. I'm not quite sure. I'm not going to tell you until I see a sign.
Oh, well, we were just told from the control room that he just passed the northbound 5.
On-ramp, yeah.
Okay,
on-ramp. So then he would have gotten off at Telegraph.
Telegraph, yes, is the first exit there just north of the 5 freeway.
Got off going the wrong direction.
We're into Santa Fe Springs here.
Right.
And so this is a very industrial area. You're going to see a lot of packed parking lots, a lot of buildings here. Not a lot of people live around this area, just a lot of companies in and around this.
And a lot of
area.
open road.
Yep, a lot of open road right here.
Yeah, this could be Oranday Road if you just cross Telegraph. We'll try to get a beat on that.
Yeah, Pioneer's coming up as well.
Going the wrong.
Do we think he's heading southbound?
I'm not quite sure.
Try to get that information from our helicopter.
Booth, let us know if you're hearing.
Yeah, this person is not let up on speed. He seems to be going, maintaining that same speed he was on the freeway.
Yes, good point.
Right?
Yeah, he's definitely stepped up his game on how he wants to get away from the CHP. Santa Fe Springs has its own police and fire department. Obviously, the CHP notifying Santa Fe Springs PD that they're in their jurisdiction, and that's actually a help because the men and women on the ground for that city know their streets very well. They could also get some mutual aid from them. Look at the wide open road there.
CHP has not let up. Look how quickly
Now
they're
you'll notice,
catching up with this person.
right, and you notice they're moving their cars around a little bit.
Yeah, they're shuffling it.
They tend to kind of jockey the number of who the lead car is,
1, 2, 3,
because the lead car is the one that really has to concentrate on that suspect. That concentration can only last, maybe 20 minutes or so, and then the incident
switch
commander
off.
will move another person up front to take over the front car position.
That's about 5. Okay, we have retired police officer, lieutenant, I should say, Chuck Griffiths on the phone with us. Chuck, are you there?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Are you watching this on our station?
I am. I'm watching on Channel 2.
What do you make of this?
Well, he's not driving too crazy. A couple of maneuvers that weren't real smart.
There's one.
Yeah.
Blowing through an intersection.
So again, just to clarify, what would the protocol be if you were out there?
Chuck, do we still have you? Think we lost Chuck.
Yeah, I think we did.
All right, while we try to get Chuck back on the phone, we're going to try to get a kind of a beat on this guy for all of you who live in the Santa Fe Springs area or live in this kind of Fulton Wells, the part of town we think we're in. And as soon as we get some streets, we will pass it along to you.
He's on Florence?
Now he's down on Florence.
Okay. He's made a left on Florence.
Was he on Florence or did he make a left on Florence?
Oh, he's on Carmenita Road right now.
Oh, okay.
So from Florence, he went to Carmenita.
Okay.
And that unit is
All right, so
right
Stephanie,
into
do you have
Norwalk.
a beat on him? Is he like
are we
Carmenita and
southbound,
Telegraph?
Booth? Are we southbound on Carmenita? Direction's going to make a big. Okay, we're not quite sure yet, but Carmenita. So we're heading. This is Norwalk, La Mirada area. So
Okay.
From Santa
Yeah.
Fe Springs, he went to Norwalk, La Mirada. Okay. All right.
Well,
Not sure
Okay,
where
now
he's
making
going
another
okay.
turn here.
that could have been on Rosecrans. In any case, as Chuck Griffiths was saying, he's a retired lieutenant. He hadn't made too many crazy moves, and that makes sense. He's making some lane changes. He's making some turns. He's trying to decide what he's going to do. They've done a lot of studies on these things. Believe it or not, you would think there's not much to study, but one of the things is the psychological effect that this has on the people trying to get away. The adrenaline alone is mind-blowing, because you second guess the decisions they make. It's amazing they can make any decisions at all, considering the adrenaline that's pumping through their veins.
Is that why we don't, every time they get arrested, their shirts are off?
Yeah, really.
Because they're sweating so much? Seriously, you think about that. The adrenaline's pumping. They're excited. They're nervous. I'm sure that they get quite heated.
They do, yeah. And that's something that the California Highway Patrol has to take into account, too, because, in the beginning, this is just somebody who decided not to pull over. Now it's somebody who is actively going to jump over that median just to try to get away. An SUV is following him. That's no big deal for an
Into a
SUV.
parking lot. Looks like a parking lot.
Yep, using a parking lot of a store or of a fast food restaurant to try to get away.
Nope.
Behind that
Turned
tree there.
around and went back
Sometimes
on
this
the
is where
street.
we see a foot bail.
This is also where we could see them try to hem him
Oh,
in.
there
we
you
go.
go.
Yep, pinning him in.
They pin him. No,
Nope,
he's still going to
missed him.
go. Wow. Chuck,
Hey,
are you with us?
What'd you think about that move, Chuck?
Yeah, that's they took advantage
bold.
of the situation. They need to stay on him though.
They do.
Yeah, we'll see now if he ramps this up a little bit, trying to get away more desperately.
Well, there's room here for a pit maneuver too, because there's no one on the road. But then again, it looks like they're going over 45 miles an hour.
Yeah,
That's going to be a problem.
It looks like CHP is going to try to get up on him. If he makes a turn or slows down, they'll probably do the pit.
Yeah, because
yeah.
he's at a much closer proximity than he was just 30, 40 seconds ago.
Correct. Yeah. And being on the side streets, it's way more dangerous than being on the freeway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and if we're going north of Rosecrans, Shoemaker will come to an end.
Okay.
So
And
he'll
where
be
will it
running
end,
out of
Steph?
room here. What was that, Sharon?
Where will it end? Onto another street or
Yeah, just north of Foster Road.
Okay.
There's
Yeah.
a road called Foster that it intersects with, and then just shortly after that, Shoemaker comes to a definitive end.
Okay.
You mean up by the high school, up by John Glenn High School?
Not far from there.
Okay.
Oh no, that's not good.
Now, we didn't see what happened under the tree, but if he hit that one CHP unit head on, they may consider this assault on an officer now.
Ah, okay.
Step up
So you're adding charges. Okay, they're going on the wrong way.
Right.
On the opposite direction.
And Chuck, just
Right, he's picked up
from the
speed.
standpoint of a police officer, when you make a move like that to try to get the guy, and they tried to pin him with their two front bumpers, and he gets away, does that? I don't know how to quite ask this question, but does that not anger the officers?
Well, I think somewhere down emotionally, yeah, he got away from
Yeah.
him. And
see the
it
video
does
on the
step
right-hand
up the
side.
game because now he's showing that he's desperate to get away, and he's going to do whatever he can to get away.
Yeah.
Most normal people, if they got pinned by two police cars, would stop and go, "Whoa, I'm out of it."
Right.
But this guy seems to be desperate.
Relentless to get away, yeah.
Yeah, now they're moving a lot faster on surface streets than they were before, and as the CHP has told us, and I'm sure Chuck, you could tell us, there's a speed limit beyond which you cannot do a pit maneuver.
Yeah, it depends on the agency. Most of them are 35 to 40 miles an hour. There are situations where they've done it at a little quicker speed, depending on the environment. But it's not something you're not trying to kill the guy, so you don't want to. You don't want to do it over a certain speed and cause him to flip, cause him, to be ejected from the car, or go out of control and hit other cars. You want to make sure it's in a controlled area.
Let me just interrupt you for a minute, Chuck, because we're at the top of the hour, just missed it by a couple of minutes. I should say that you're joining our live coverage of a pursuit. This is Jeff Michael with Sharon Tay. You're watching CBS 2 News at 11 a.m.
And former police Lieutenant Chuck Griffiths is on the phone with us, walking us through this pursuit. There was an opportunity for a pit maneuver there, right? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, in the corner is a perfect time to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think he looked to the left and saw the cars in the lane, saw the big semi-truck on the right, and you don't want to cause more victims in this thing.
Right, that's true. At what point do they decide that this is a situation for spike strips?
Well, at any point. I don't know if CHP is coordinating with the units that are in that jurisdiction, but a lot of times they'll get ahead of the pursuit if they're going in a general area.
Back into a parking lot. Chuck, we may be a little bit in advance of what you're seeing on TV if you...
yeah.
There,
Oh, okay.
In the corners.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. The unit is desperate, I think, really trying to get a pit maneuver. They're going there.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, usually you want to make sure you have two units behind you when you do that.
Yeah.
Because right now all I see is that one SUV following him, and I don't see the supporting units behind him, even if he was to pit him.
Right. The first unit usually does the pit and spins them out, and the other two units behind them will pin the car in.
Exactly, yeah.
First unit's supposed to continue right through it.
So at this point, the unit there, directly behind him, is just all by themselves, and it's going to be hard to conduct a pit maneuver.
Well, he can do it, but as Chuck was saying, there's nobody to
back him up.
To back him up, yeah. Or I'm sure they're there.
Yeah, I could imagine the units aren't too far behind.
No.
They'll try to close.
Stephanie, do you know if we're in Norwalk Sheriff territory or if we're still in... I can't believe we're still in Santa Fe Springs. It's not that big of a city.
Well, after several turns, no, Santa Fe Springs is not big. So last known location after a couple of turns was Telegraph Road, but this person just transitioned off of Telegraph. So I'm going to get you a location here.
They're getting on the freeway.
Yep.
Okay.
Getting on a freeway.
We are told this is Downey, by the way. He's getting on the freeway.
Southbound 5.
Southbound 5? Okay.
Wouldn't you know, it's the one time that the 5 is open.
Yeah.
That freeway sucks when it comes to being able to keep at freeway speeds, and of all times today, there's no traffic.
Yeah, I think I know what time to drive the freeways now.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a good time.
That's the time where if this was going on around 7 o'clock, we would be in dead stop traffic. But yeah, it looks like we're wide open right now, heading towards that 605.
The 605, okay. All right, he's picking up speed.
Well, it's a little more comforting when he gets back on the freeway. Then he doesn't have the cross traffic, and he's not endangering a whole bunch of people's lives.
Right, you're right, Chuck.
Boy, I didn't know how he got up into Downey and over to the 5. He made more turns than I was following.
Right.
So now heading back south on the 5 toward the 605. Doesn't make sense for him to go there because that's the freeway he got off of because there was so much traffic.
Right, it started in Santa Ana, so he may be from Santa Ana, and he probably wants to get to his home.
Yeah, get to turf that he knows.
Right.
You can negotiate streets you're familiar with a lot.
How often does that happen, Chuck?
I found that's almost always.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They go back to an area that they're familiar with, so they can get out of the car and go somewhere that they know, and hopefully, in their mind, they're going to outsmart the officers.
Chuck, how often do these people actually get away?
Very rare. I mean, we've seen a couple in the past couple of months, but it is extremely rare unless you. I think we saw one go into a storm drain and one down underneath the railroad tracks on the what do you call it, the Metrolink.
Yeah, yeah.
And he got away for a while, but each one of those were caught. It draws the incident out a lot longer and takes more manpower to find them. But we do find them.
I can't help but notice how fast this
All right, so
driver
we're
is going.
just south of the 605 now, still in Downey.
On the southbound 5.
Yes, we're heading towards Norwalk and then Cerritos, so we're going back the way we came here.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm hoping there's damage on that car enough to where it's going to flatten one of the tires or cause them to stop.
You know, it looked like, Chuck, they got him smack dab on the passenger door and the driver door. I'm looking at the bumper. It doesn't, that's hanging off on the passenger side, but that's about it.
Yeah. I don't know if I want my car back if that's mine.
Yeah.
Got a lot of construction here on the 5, so the lanes, Caltrans has already done a little bit of the CHP's work for it by narrowing the lanes that this guy has to choose from. There in the far right of your screen, you see the police helicopter. Oh, and look, he decides to take the construction zone
Road, yeah.
and use that to go into oncoming traffic. That was just not a smart move unless you make a U-turn, which is exactly what he did.
Just past those attenuators, too, that would have been a big old mess with sand all over the place. We see a lot of wrecks like that.
All right, so now
So he's going back in the other direction.
Okay, northbound 5 now.
heading northbound 5.
Northbound 5. Wow. Okay.
Well, you've got to wonder what he's thinking, if he's going to be able to do a maneuver like that and get away. But, you know, they're going to continue to follow him as long as it's a safe.
Well, and really at this point, Chuck, as if you were the supervisor on this pursuit, wouldn't you start being concerned about whether or not he is willing to put other people's lives in danger, whether or not how far is he willing to go, in other words?
Exactly. He's picked it up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just the supervisor, it's the primary unit has the say-so also.
Okay,
We're
we're
getting
getting
off the freeway here.
transitioning northbound 605, it looks like.
605. Okay.
So we're going back into Santa Fe Springs here.
And
Looks like-
605 south, is that right? Yep, 605 south. All right, so if you're just joining us, we're following this pursuit of the silver Audi, paper plates. Guy just didn't want to pull over. It wasn't that he or she was wanted for anything. They just were trying to pull the person over, and they didn't pull over. And this person has been making a giant loop around Norwalk, Santa Fe Springs, Downey, using the 5 and the 605 and the 405 as freeways. So hasn't really gone anywhere. Just been making a bunch of turns.
And at one point, 2 CHP units crashed onto him, one on the driver's side and the other on the passenger side, but that didn't stop him. He made a U-turn and made a run for it.
Coming up shortly, we will have an option to take the 105 freeway. So that's something else we may see here.
Ooh, he's
Big old lane change into the HOV lane. See, the thing is, he can make those moves, and Chuck, feel free to weigh in here, but a CHP officer can't necessarily make the same kind of dangerous move.
Right. You don't want to repeat his dangerous move and exacerbate the situation. You know, they've got more units behind them that can take over as the primary, so we don't.
I was going to ask you, what do they do if they can't make the move?
Well, the helicopter's still there. They'll figure out a way around it.
And you got units up ahead.
Yeah. Because if he goes, you know, wrong way on the freeway, we're not going to go wrong way on the freeway and have, you know, 4 cars going the wrong way instead of just one.
Yeah, I see the some movement in the car. Yeah, I see him reaching for something.
Looks like he's throwing things out.
Is he throwing things out the window?
I'm sorry?
I was just asking Chuck because
yeah, it looks like he's got little small, I don't know if they're bindles or papers or what, but he seems to be going through them and throwing them out the window.
And I don't know if that's the driver. That looks like a passenger.
Yeah, he was leaning way over unless there's somebody in the back seat.
Talk about the moves that put people in danger. In fact, we're going to double box and show you guys the last move he tried to make, where he was heading southbound, goes into the construction zone, passes those barrels filled with sand, makes a U-turn on a freeway. Kind of gives you an idea of how inventive this guy has been.
He seemed to have known that there was a way out at the other end, so.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah.
thought, in fact, I would have thought he was going to get pinned in by K-rails.
Right.
So here we are back live. And we are on the, I'm sorry, Steph, was it northbound 605?
Southbound 605,
South
we're coming
605.
up on that 105 freeway, so that may be a transition this person opts to take.
Okay.
Looks like we just passed that 105, so we're still in Norwalk, approaching a big intersection. This person could think about taking, exiting at Rosecrans.
Right.
Alondra is coming up as well, so those are two major thoroughfares there.
Yeah, and yet, you know, none of these exits is going to do anything for him that the other ones didn't.
No.
So, I mean, it's really just kind of spinning your wheels, if you'll forgive the pun. He's buying time, and that's about it.
Yeah, and here's the deal. We'll encounter, you can see on the map there, a little bit of slowing towards the 91. I'm going to move this red circle here so you can see a better location, and you can follow that yellow line just south of where this person is. We're going to see a little bit of slowing towards the 91, and then if that person gets past that, then we are more open heading into Cerritos.
Helicopter seems to pull out. Again,
Looks like they backed off a little bit.
No,
No,
well,
I
this
think-
is freeway speeds, though.
Yeah.
This is different than they would be, how close they would be on
either
surface
that or
streets.
he's picked up speed.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
He's in an Audi.
And they
Those
want to
cars
kind
go
of
pretty
hang
fast.
back. If he crashes, they don't want to be right on top of him. So they want to stay back a little safer.
Okay.
That's a
Like
good
we're
point.
getting off.
Did he just make the transition, Steph? 91
Yeah,
east.
it's the 91.
Yeah.
91 eastbound.
91 westbound.
Westbound,
So we're heading into
okay.
Bellflower now.
Yeah,
there
going
it is,
into
okay.
Bellflower. Yeah, that's a very good point. You know, Chuck just said if he crashes, they don't want to be part of the crash. And in the litigious world that we live in, it's happened before where people being pursued have blamed police officers on their injuries and on the crash.
Right.
And of course, then the possibility of others, you know, innocent motorists being involved in a crash. And they most definitely would blame the police agency, which really puts officers in a pinch.
Exactly.
And you know, Chuck, when you were on these things, when you were an active officer, did you think along those lines? Hey, we've got to be careful about liability here.
Exactly. You weigh all the factors: the speed, the jurisdiction, the radio communications, how he's acting, how your car's performing. And again, if you know the guy, it's not worth chasing him. Let him go. We'll get him later.
Really?
Yeah.
He's getting off again.
But
Okay.
Well, that's where different police agencies have different policies, you know, along those lines.
it's getting pretty uniform now to where.
Is it? Really? Okay.
Yeah, and you know, some are more aggressive with the pit maneuvers, some are more aggressive
he's
with
trying to bypass that van.
bike strip.
Squeeze right through there. Okay, what street is he on now, Steph?
Possibly Bellflower Boulevard because he
Bellflower?
wasn't on the westbound 91 for too long here.
Wow. He's not letting up. This person is really intent on getting away. He's running into some traffic there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we think he got off where, Steph?
Bellflower Boulevard, possibly. That's the first exit just west on the 91, and this person wasn't on the 91 for very long here.
Okay.
He's heading westbound.
So he's on Bellflower heading west, so that parallels the 91. And here comes the officer up closer again. Once again, surface streets, slower speeds, but a wide open space. That picked up a little too fast there to spin him out.
Driving
you-
really well.
Oh, we think he's on Artesia.
On Artesia. So he would have exited Bellflower and then turned on Artesia.
And now he's
Okay.
And now we're turning again here.
Right, that unit's trying to get up close.
You know,
This driver
in
is
this
swerving all
society,
over the street.
you know, I mean, in this Southern California, you know,
Oh, okay.
society
okay,
of ours.
Here we go. There
There's
we go.
the
We got
pit
it close. There
maneuver.
we go.
Yeah.
There's a pit maneuver.
All right, now the other unit,
Finally.
is the other unit going to be there to stop him from moving out? He was
Oh, is he
trying,
trying to
was
get on
trying
the-
to get on the 91. So that officer who pitted him,
He's not. He's trying to move.
is that officer going to back up or not?
What's behind that? I can't anymore.
And Chuck, there's
Oh, there are the units
a
right there.
psychological issue going
Okay.
on here too. When you get spun around like that, that's pretty disorienting, right?
Yes, and it does kill the engine on the car. So
Oh,
that's
it
why-
does. Okay.
That's
So at this point, you have the CHP officers
Keeping their distance.
keeping their distance, but they're out of their cars and they have their guns drawn.
right. The potential
Okay.
for this guy to try to run, you know, try to drive around them is pretty high right here, so you don't want to get up too close.
Okay, and behind him is that original unit, and there's a
Yeah.
canine unit in front of him.
Right.
Okay.
So now it's up to this guy what he wants to do. It looks
Yeah.
like he's trying to get it in gear and get it started again. So,
Yeah.
When do they send the dog over?
only if there's an opening, if the window's broken or if the door's open. They can send the dog if the guy's not cooperating. But at this time, there's no opening for the dog to get in, so they're not going to risk the dog.
And I'm sure these officers are concerned whether this guy is armed.
Exactly.
They don't know if he has a gun or a knife or whatever.
Right. Yeah, just because
This
he
is a-
committed one crime doesn't mean he hasn't committed a whole
True.
bunch of others.
But Chuck, isn't this strategically an opportune place for him to have stopped or for them to have pitted him?
That was
He's-
perfect,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's on an on-ramp, so,
Guardrails on both sides
Right.
of the wall. He's got nowhere to go.
and he and
Still
and,
sitting
and,
there, refuses to give up.
and that reality, I think, is sinking in pretty quickly for him.
Yeah. Yeah, he has nowhere to go now. He can't go over that wall. He can't go through the guardrail. He's doing a lot of moving around in there, which is not real smart on his part.
And look at all these units lined up.
Making sure that they've blocked every possible way.
Yep.
This is Clark Avenue,
Mm-hmm.
just near the entrance of the eastbound 91 freeway.
All right, there we go. Chuck, don't leave us, by the way, as we're waiting for CHP officers to decide what to do next. At this point, communicating with them is the first thing they do. Every police agency has an escalation policy, and it always starts with verbal commands. And there are a lot of weapons trained on that car.
And we're still not sure if anyone's in the back seats.
Well, there
You're
seemed
right.
to be somebody in the passenger seat
Yeah.
at least, if not the
No,
back
I think
seat.
the driver was just leaning over.
Oh, do you think so?
Yeah, I think he was just leaning over, picking things up and throwing them out.
Well, you never know.
But you never know,
What he
exactly.
could have been carrying that he
Well,
didn't want police to find.
And it's
although,
hard to see from their perspective because the windows are tinted dark too.
He could be waiting out and calling his friends and family,
Yeah.
just sitting in there. We've seen people in their
saying, yeah,
cars
hey,
just,
am I on TV?
yes.
No, I'm not joking. That's
Yeah, no,
exactly
no,
what some of
that's
these
exactly
yahoos do.
Oh, yeah. Any sort of notoriety. We've seen a lot of pursuits end like this where they will sit there for hours. And CHP, LAPD, they just wait them out. Or sometimes they'll do the beanbag and they'll start to close in and break a window or something like that. We've seen that as well.
Let's just hope he doesn't sit there for hours.
So, Chuck, if you're still with us, what are the options here? Oh, we don't have
We
Chuck
don't,
right now.
okay.
All right. Don't hang up, though, Chuck. We're trying to do a little switchboard maneuver here.
Yeah, again,
Looks like he's got something in his hands. If you guys can see through the
Okay,
windshield
Chuck's back
here.
on the line.
Oh, Stu Mundell.
Hey,
Hey, are you watching this?
I am watching. We're using the Facebook Live, so I'm a little bit behind you guys. I saw
Okay.
the pit. I've watched pretty much the whole thing.
Okay. What do you think?
Well, the coolest part, or the most interesting part of the whole thing was when the CHP tried to do that pursuit sandwich and they stopped them. It shows you how aggressive these law enforcement officers are.
Yeah.
There must be something about this guy that they really wanted to bring this thing to an end. And then now that pit, now there's a standoff. I heard Chuck talking a little bit earlier about that guy moving around in the car. Not the thing to do. Everybody know that just from the officers because you don't know what he's grabbing for. We don't. And these guys, these law enforcement that's there, they have to have some idea what's going on with this car. If they run the plate and it comes back stolen, that's one thing. But to be that aggressive, there must be a reason why they are chasing this guy so aggressively. And also, you got to wonder, why is this car not moving? I mean, it's gone through a lot. It was a beautiful Audi in the beginning. Now it's all banged up. And why is he not moving?
Well, as Chuck pointed out, the pit will very often stall the engine, and it's sometimes difficult to get it started again. Not always, but sometimes.
Yeah, you know, we understand that, you know, the newer cars, when you spin them around like that, it shuts off the fuel pump, but that Audi should be able to restart. So something more must be going on right there. And also, they had that passenger jump out earlier. That was pretty interesting in itself. I'm watching the footage. I am a little bit behind from you guys because I'm watching on Facebook.
Sorry, you're not missing much right now.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it.
It looks like the driver is on the phone, or he just
He's got
got
the
off the phone.
He's got the window down
and is talking to the officers. Yeah.
Well, if he has the window down and there's some communication, the officers are going to take their time. They're going to use that. Time is always on law enforcement's side. So if he's talking, they've got something going on right now, and that at least it's communication. But also with that window down, that leaves the opportunity that if he starts, you know, not complying or not, you know, it's taking too long, they're just going to go ahead and send that dog in there, which could be an interesting thing in itself. I keep watching the shots here. I definitely see what you guys are talking about. That window is down.
Now it's back up.
Now it's back up. They just rolled it back up, Stu.
Well, maybe, hopefully he's not watching Facebook Live with us and he realizes that they might send the dog in there. You know, they can break those windows very easily. We've seen it in the past.
Yeah.
Yep. Doors opening.
There we go.
Hands are up.
Hands are up.
Oh, there it is.
Starting to make the first wise decision of his morning.
Yes, excellently put.
Okay.
All right, putting his hands together, making a motion as if to say, he's holding something, the keys maybe? No, hold on.
You have something in your hand.
He's tapping his hands together in an odd way. I don't know what he's doing.
Oh.
He's putting both hands up, but he has something in his right hand, and then he's motioning down toward the ground. This guy is not making.
This to amaze me.
He's not making normal moves here.
Well,
his gesticulations are strange.
Well, I'm wondering.
They have that dog. I'm sorry, Sharon. If they have that dog, they're going to let that dog loose.
No, he's not. He's not disobeying their commands.
It's almost as if he's signing. That's what I'm thinking. I was looking at him signing.
Yeah.
He seems to be. There's something disturbed about his actions.
Right.
They wouldn't ask him to get back up.
No.
See, he's trying to communicate to them using some sort of sign. You're right.
It's a
and now he's back down on the ground again. It's almost as if he can't. No, they're going to ask him not to put his hands. They're going to have. See, look, he's using that right hand to communicate.
I wonder if he's partially deaf or he can't speak.
Maybe he's just too far away from them and he can't understand the
commands.
That's true, but
those motions.
Body language was.
Yeah.
It showed like he was signing.
Hands back out, spread.
He's very.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just starting to watch.
Can we lose?
And, now I'm starting to see what you guys are talking about. It is very unusual indeed. But you know, all in all, even if this is some sort of communication issue, you know. Anybody knows that law enforcement with licensed sirens, they want you to pull over and all that crazy stuff that he's been doing.
All right.
There's no excuse in the end.
Hey, Stu, can you hold on for just a minute for us? And thanks so much for your input. We want to go to Sergeant Tony Garrett with the CHP. So obviously this is his agency. Sergeant, what do you know about this guy?
Hey, this is Chuck Griffiths.
Oh, it's Chuck.
Chuck, hi. I thought we had Sergeant Tony Garrett on the phone. Chuck.
All right, let's try for Sergeant Garrett one more time. We've got this guy getting handcuffed. Sergeant, can you fill us in at all on this guy?
Yeah, this is like the pursuit has finally come to an end, and we're in the process of taking him into custody now.
Yeah, but we were a little confused about his movements. It seemed like he was making some strange movements as he was getting out of the car. Or are you privy to the radio transmission about anything about him?
No, I'm not. I'm only watching it from the TV.
Okay. So, originally, what was the want on this guy?
It was a stolen vehicle.
Okay, stolen vehicle.
Yes, ma'am.
And where did it originate and what time?
I believe it originated in Westminster.
In Westminster.
Okay.
At a car dealership? Because it looked like it had paper plates.
That info I don't have. If it's from a car dealership or not.
All right.
Okay, so the pit maneuver worked. That your units, when they were in a parking lot of a fast food restaurant, tried to pin him. It's one of the first time I've seen that. Tried to pin him between the driver door and the passenger door to stop him, and that didn't work. Did that escalate your pursuit?
Well, it does, because the guy was exhibiting some erratic and some dangerous driving behaviors. The technique that you saw is another technique that we sometimes can deploy. And, at that time, they tried to box the guy in, and he was able to maneuver his way out of it. So thankfully, we were able to get the pit the pit maneuver performed and then bring this thing to a conclusion.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Sergeant Tony Garrett. So you guys are code 4 at this, and you're done, right?
It looks like it, yes.
Well, everyone's safe. Thank goodness for that. All right, we're going to wrap this up for you. You are watching the end of a pursuit that started in Westminster, and this is a pursuit of a stolen vehicle. The driver had led officers, CHP officers, Santa Ana Police Department officers as well, all around the Southland, seemed to be going into in a loop, driving at very dangerous high speeds, making all kinds of dangerous turns, and until he ended here on Clark Street.
Didn't really seem to have a direction anywhere he was going. He did step it up. He made a lot of dangerous moves that could have put a lot of people in danger, did put a lot of people in danger. But this pursuit has ended, and ended to in a safe manner.
All right, that does it for us at CBS 2 News at 11 a.m. We'll have more at noon on this pursuit.
This is Sheila. She got satellite. I get tons of HD. Spectrum has tons of HD and primetime.